Right, we're back, guys. The stream's back. I'm loving this.
That's a classic.
Would you look at that? Rise of the Vincel. Yeah, it's unreal, isn't it?
He's a dangerous man. He'll choke you out without you saying a word.
Smoothie is the Rat King.
Oh, but a joke. 'Twas harmless banter.
Are you kidding me?
What you made of my man?
Oh! Yay! Now the game's started up. Now the game begins.
Oh, he's going for the op. Let him get it.
Does Complexity actually pay kind of salaries that are comparable to the other top?
I think with the new funding they got, yeah.
They do.
I think that's part of the reason how they were able to like land Stanislaw and stuff like that. And I mean, I imagine if they could have landed Tarek, they had the salary ready for him to.
Oh, they had the money to get.
They
Tarek.
had the money, yeah.
No. So I don't think that's an issue.
No, money like that wasn't the problem. I'm sure. I don't have any inside info there, but money was definitely not the problem with getting Tarek for them.
Is Tarek still on a buyout domain in Brazil though, or did they release him? Or something?
I think Noah said that he would release him if they had like if he wanted to go somewhere. I think. Don't quote me on that.
No, I don't think. You're not going to make your money back, but
as much as people like to talk shit on a lot of the teams in the scene, like a lot of people were mad, obviously, that Jack sold Stewie. To be fair, he stole Stewie for loads of money, and then he wrecked whoever from MiBR wanted to buy. That's going to be one of the worst deals of all time. He wrecked MiBR, making them buy Tarek.
Yeah, it didn't go well for MiBR. At the time, once they had Stewie, it did make sense, though.
It was worth it just for, like, you know, some cost fallacy. Like, we can't just kick him in immediately, so you may as well try something.
Surely Astralis doesn't pull this off.
Definitely will.
The 2v5? I mean, I know it's Zip next, so, like, just never know.
Let's see. I reckon Def's going to get fragged any second.
Oh, I'm ahead of you guys. Sorry. Fuck.
Yeah, I'm watching the Steam TV thing.
Yeah, they've done it. It's ridiculous. What?
Fucking unreal.
When Zipix is alive, just plus another player on the server.
It's like +7 in a clutch situation.
The thing is, if you notice,
it's a 2v5, man.
They always do that as well. If they're ever in a 2vx with Zipnix, because you know he's basically just going to win if he ever gets any of the people in 1v1. They always go slow like that.
Yeah.
But it looks so amazing because it looks like they just know exactly where the opponent is. I
swear, the other team when they're playing against them, like they see that it's Zipnix, and for some reason, their brains just stop functioning properly. They're just like, oh, let's continuously give him the 1v1s that he precisely needs, that we know he's going to hit the shot every time, and we're going to lose this round because of it.
Like, what I don't get is, like, I'm not talking about, like, you know, every specific scenario, but as a general guideline, I would tell my players, if you're ever in, like, 1vx or 2vx scenarios like that, absolutely double peek from different angles. For sure do that. Like, let's just do that all day long. What the odds you can kill both of us, or, you know, one of us doesn't. Like, I would basically play it the opposite to how you normally play. Because, you know, obviously, like, traditionally, you want to hide, don't you? Make him come to you. Make him use timers. Like, actually, if anything, that plays into his...
Yeah.
All right.
Oh,
That
I
would
see.
make sense then.
There you go.
Somebody in my chat literally just said to turn it off. They can't watch this anymore. It's just bad.
All right, I'm not gonna be able to do
Didn't
this.
know you were
whole
such
one.
a
I
big
need to go to
Cloud9
sleep.
fan. Probably due to you being born from a woman's vagina, wasn't it? Maybe
Fuck, do I
Sponge is
just
trying to
not
go with
sleep?
some like fucking. He's trying to go with some Macbeth level shit, isn't he? Like only man born of non-woman shall pick Cloud9 to.
Fuck.
Jesus, man. I haven't
Finally
even
get to see
fucking.
Made in Brazil play. I assume everyone here, despite the fact having not ever seen this team play, picked them to go through. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I see that we've seen this team play quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean 2 years ago with like not Zeus as a coach,
Yeah.
but
If anything, they should be better now.
Maybe.
I
I
think
mean,
that's what
how many
everyone
times
is
have you actually
assuming,
seen people like put the roster back together and have it be just as good?
Yeah, but the difference is this is the one that I actually think can work. Like I don't think
Yeah.
that this one actually.
I agree with you.
Especially
That's
harsh. I think they
now
just
that
scapegoated that.
especially now that
playing
Zeus
devil's
is there.
advocate here. That's all.
Especially
if
now
they-
that Zeus is there. I think
they
that's
make
a
Phelps more the
huge difference
focus.
maker.
yeah, that is a difference maker. Also, if they actually make Phelps the focus and make Fur more of like a role playing entry, I think that could help too.
Plus, if there was ever a time you wanted to have zero info on you for your enemy, when you've actually got some good players, it'd be exactly this scenario. Like it makes you mad.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I have them
Like
going
how's
through. I
anyone
was
even
just kinda
supposed to know
curious.
their map pool?
Yeah, it's true. You like, what do you go and look at their maps from 2 years ago and hope it's similar? Like, you can't look at their most recent maps because it's a completely different team. Like, they didn't just switch out 2 players. Like, it's just completely different now.
Because I don't think there has been a single roster that tries to piece it back together that even gets remotely close to their old level again. I have it, like I said, have them going through, just playing devil's advocate. It'd
To
be
be
cool to
fair
see them.
though, in at Pro CS:GO, there hasn't even been a lot of instances where they've brought a player back. Like that doesn't even happen very often.
No, I know it's been like what 3 times. It's been Fnatic,
Go to Mouse
and then-
Sports.
yeah, Mouse Sports,
Fnatic
Fnatic, and then VP. There we go.
MiBR, SK, they brought back Bolts. Now they brought back Phelps.
That's
so
true.
You guys
Yeah.
have done
They were
it
actually
twice.
mildly successful for a while there when they did get Bolts back. So
Kinda.
Yeah.
But that's also like what led to the more roster changes.
they won like their what was it like the first 4 out of 5 events or something like that with Bolts. And some of them were actually pretty big events like Epicenter and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Off topic, MiBR's new jerseys look really nice.
They do.
I saw their logo for the new sticker and I was like, why does the jersey not look like that? Sure enough, it does now. Feels good. I guess it's like very common in football / soccer, whatever you want to call it, to have those sponsors like that in the center. I'm not a fan of that though. Like the fact that it looks like MiBR sponsors Betway, the team. Or it just
They never actually went with that design though, did they? I mean, I know that was on Twitter. But...
I mean, that's like what their logo is now. It's different colors and stuff. It's the Brazilian like colors and all that stuff, but it's still, it just says Betway in the middle, and then the MiBR logo is like the badge.
Yeah, I guess I'm a big soccer fan, so all that just looks really standard to me. Like, it's not even something I notice.
I think North does the same thing, right?
Yeah, it's like really standard to have the sponsor right in the middle of what they would call the kit.
Yeah, no, because I just, it seems so foreign to me. I don't know.
Yeah.
If you look at that picture of he's got there his profile, he just looks like an evil fucking Ernie or whatever it is. Is Bert's the one actually? Bert from Sesame. If Bert from Sesame Street just got way too into crank and rushing, pressing W. If he was basically, if Bert from Sesame Street was in Sons of Anarchy, he'd prefer.
Yeah, same.
I wonder how Cloud9 actually figures out their map pool. Like if they actually did really practice certain maps, or if they're just trying to like just generally play all of them, or what.
They practice certain maps for sure. I don't know if they're trying to play all of them or not.
Yeah,
but
they focus on Mirage and Overpass a lot. It seems like.
And Inferno, obviously, because they're playing it. But yeah, no, they're another really good practice partner. I mean, obviously, but they put a lot of work into like their rotations and their reactions is like a big thing with them. Like they play like really like reactionary and like rotation based CS.
I think that's what always made them the best is MiBR and now Astralis. Like where you see them always excel is never, people always want to say, oh, they have like crazy. It's the mid. It's always the best team in the world. Like when MiBR is the best and when Astralis is the best. It's just how good they play and how they react in the mid round situations.
Yeah.
Like the amount of times you see Astralis just always win a 3v3 or 4v4 or a 2v2 or even oddmans, right? Like it's just
Yeah, they had like the highest 4-on-5 conversion last year by a good margin.
Yeah. Well, I gotta go lay down, guys. I got a nap before. Actually, I haven't even slept yet. Yeah.
100% of rounds at Navi won were 4v5. Some of them even 3v5. That's that.
Anyways, on that note, see you guys later.
See you, mate.
You got me on that one.
What was the seeding for these two teams?
No idea.
That's a good
I'm
question,
guessing around
actually.
the middle, right? I'm guessing this is like 8 versus 9.
No. I'm gonna ask my Twitch chat. Chat, give me the fucking seedings. I'll load it up and I'll tell you.
Is your chat like your Alexa or something?
Yeah, basically.
Oh,
They're the homies. They always hook it up.
MiBR was 4.
Never mind. They told me to go find it. No, this is toxic.
Fucking hell, that's pretty high. I mean, I do think they're good, but I'm amazed everyone else agreed in terms of the team.
Yeah, they put Made in Brazil above FaZe and Energy.
I think that's. Yeah, I mean, probably has the same sentiment we do, right? Is like.
Yeah, it's fair on speculations.
This is the roster that's finally back together, but it's definitely a roster that is not anything to fuck with. And FaZe has kind of been on a downward, and NRG is looking okay, but they're getting better. But can you really confidently say they're better than MiBR? It's like
without seeing them play. I mean, I don't know.
It's just one of those things where I think it's hard not to put them fourth. I think you could argue for FaZe being higher than them, possibly, but not NRG. From a player perspective.
Yeah. From like a results-based perspective, I think you'd have to put Energy ahead.
Yeah, based on like their
one thing
more
I do
recent
like
work.
though is like I actually think the positive thing of the pick'ems from what I've seen is it just avoids all those stupid conversations where like anyone in a Twitter or Reddit comment can be like, oh, I think actually that Cloud9's going through. It's like, let me see you pick them then, mate. Go on then, show me that. Because if you notice, a lot of people did, like on pick'ems, did just go with the safe picks. Like I saw loads of people on Reddit coming into this major like, oh, Navi and FaZe are going to be so washed up and bad. It's like everyone picked them. Literally, I don't think a single person's like put those teams not going through as far as I can.
Yeah. It's also kind of relative to that team as well. Coming in, Navi does look like pretty rough compared to how they were ending.
Yeah, but
and
the problem is,
same with,
who's good enough to beat them in that condition?
no, exactly. When you start lining them up, I think people say like, when they look at them on their own, and you look at FaZe on their own, and you look at Navi on their own, and you're not really comparing them to what they're going to do in a tournament, and you're looking at their opposition, it's just like, oh yeah, they look kind of washed, or like they're not looking really good right now. But then as soon as you put them in there, yeah, it's like, well, it is Navi and it is FaZe.
Like,
I think with
especially
Navi,
FaZe. Come on, man. Like FaZe could trip over and accidentally win the game. They've got that many good players.
Yeah.
I think the only reason why people are shaky on Navi is just that ice challenge and then that Zeus interview. That's like the only two things people are basing.
I mean, to be fair, that ice challenge is pretty rough if you actually watch the games.
Sure.
Here's the thing. This is Richard's
One of
channel,
them.
so I won't make an outrageous joke or something, you know. But when I heard it was called that, the ice challenge, I was like, have you all never heard of what's going on in politics at the moment? Why have you called? What's the challenge to get fucking 21 Savage out the country?
God damn it.
Right, there's my one designated critical joke per hour.
To be fair, that was pretty mild. Like,
Yeah, no, I kept it on the reasonable end. You know.
Yeah,
I
you
feel like
did.
he had another one. He had like 2 lined up. He's like, yeah.
Sure. Well, I do have another one. Okay, here's the other
No,
one. This isn't actually edgy. This isn't actually edgy. It's just a point that I actually haven't heard anyone else make. Right? This is a mad one. Right? You know when people talk about the idea of the world being a simulation, usually they reference it when something's like too surreal. You know, it's like, oh, come on, what does that really happen? That seems too implausible, right? So here's one that I've never heard anyone mention. So obviously the immigration service is called ICE, right? And obviously they want to build a wall. So they're literally building an ice wall from Game of Thrones. What is this? Why has no one else mentioned that? That's too surreal.
Is this a simulation?
I think that's just because you're
Sounds like it has
crazy,
to be.
Duncan. Like,
No.
I think that's why no one's mentioned that one. Also,
Because
Game
America
of Thrones is
is
trash.
such a, yeah, it is bad now, actually, to be fair. It is pretty bad. Yeah. But to be fair,
I had
also,
to
it was
come.
getting a lot
Sam was
worse
shouting at me. He was
a
going,
while ago.
Duncan's talking about ice. Quick, get on the stream. Distract. Duncan,
Sorry, I'm
who
not
would
doing
you
a good
say
job.
is the greatest 1.3 player of all time? That's what I have to do. Throw an obscure question in. Stream saved.
Stream save.
He's done it.
Problem.
By the way, why is no? You know, one area that does tilt me a bit is like when players just never like. The problem is if you're a team like MiBR, even when they were down, because so many other players like respect all their accomplishments and also probably that they're going to get it together and get really good. No one ever trash talked them. Like when they were actually at their worst, why did no one ever trash talk them? Like, you know what I would literally have done? Like, so I'll give you an example. You know when like Big eliminated them from like ESL Cologne in like, you know, like 9th place or something ridiculous? I would have just instantly tweeted if I was Smoothie, like, guess fl0m was right. Only pussies trying to win every time. You know, some shit like that. Just go straight to...
The problem with Smoothie is
Oh
Smoothie was
my
always
God.
trying to wreck his own teammates. Always.
That's true, yeah.
Smoothie did go straight to Twitter and went, why am I playing with fucking Nex? And then, if you want to play with Nex, you join Astralis.
There we go. Oh, wait. You almost had it there. I thought you were going to say, if you want to play with Nex, who are you, fucking Sean Guess?
Oh, at least you didn't say me. If you want to play with Nex, who are you, Richard?
Sean
Lewis?
Guess would be playing with Shazam, Nex, and Dead Fox.
No doubt. Of course, none of these guys
Stick them
understand
up.
these references built up over a matter
I
of
know.
years in a podcast.
They don't understand that our entire podcast is basically like one of those extended Harry Hill specials where you have to have caught the first half an hour or none of it makes sense.
Yeah, why Harry? Why Harry Hill? Why can't it be Stuart Lee? I don't know.
Similar, but I went with the more obscure reference, as is my way.
Whatever happened to Harry Hill?
I don't know. Must still be doing something, right?
I haven't seen him on telly for fucking years. I know he used to be a GP, so maybe he's gone back to prescribing old ladies medicine.
That
there.
dick. Just leave that there then, yeah?
You're mentally
That's what he used to say. He goes, I'll just leave that there.
You're mentally
Take
ill.
2 of these and call me in the morning.
Thing is, as well, the chat are like, oh, don't could you suppress the talk? And sometimes his mic cuts out on the last word of a sentence.
Good.
And I'm like, yeah, and I'm like, good. Thank the Lord.
Yeah.
That actually saves me.
I'm banking on that to maybe give me a 10% better chance. Thing is, Richard, you know the media is controlled by...
Thank God he cut out.
No, that's a joke.
That was the joke. That was the joke, for fuck's sake.
Goddamn fuck.
Whoa. To be fair, this actually happened. All right, last time fucking Richard got the DSL package, right? His whole net went down. So I was just avoiding this. I was like half tuned out.
Fair enough.
Did
Problem with
actually
that
ever
is,
get
obviously,
And of course, you were going to say corporations there. So
See, what I can't handle about that is, like, the internet does ruin your brain because obviously DSL means that direct or synchronous line or something, right? But when I hear DSL, I just think of that dick sucking lips. That's the alien. That's the acronym. I've spent too much time on the internet. That's all I'm going to say.
I think of a delivery service, isn't it? What's that, DHL?
Yeah, but what about the dick
DHL,
sucking lips?
that's DHL. I said DSL.
Well,
but-
there you go. That's what I think of. I've never heard of dick sucking lips, mate. What are you talking about? I've been
You're
on.
not hanging
I've
around
been on
with the kind of circles I do, then, do you?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, spirals. I've heard actually.
You
not
obviously
so
haven't
circles.
hung around a lot of LEC owners conferences. I kept that one subtly though.
Oh god.
This is such a weird 2-on-2.
Nice dust.
I know, isn't it?
Yeah, bring it back. Save us from Duncan's.
You're welcome.
Yeah, we're going deep down the rabbit hole now.
Non-stop stream of consciousness, please. Please.
What do you think is Elsa's Thorin?
Doesn't look very good from all the times I've seen. I mean, listen, I appreciate the position he's in. It's a pretty tough spot to be in. You don't know what you're really doing. You're just kind of making up numbers. But yeah, he looked a very average player to me. Does he have some sort of hype in the NA scene or something? Is he a known guy?
Yeah, he was like an up and comer. He's not like he was never somebody that was just insane like raw talent, but he was also one of those players that when you played with him, my experience with him like FPL, he's always kind of nice to have on the team. Good vibes, did exactly what he needed to. Never doesn't fuck up really. You know, he's just kind of like a solid rock.
The right sort of player to use then?
I mean, there was like maybe a couple of players ahead of him, like in kind of the hype from MDL, but he
They looked
definitely
at
was
that
up there.
infinite.
Some
net.
would say an infinite amount of players.
Yeah, exactly.
God damn it.
Not bad.
There's even a couple more after him though.
Who would you put above Infinite and Zelsis?
Probably
Food.
Rix because he never used a slur.
I think Food was better.
Well,
couple of
Food
other
was an
players.
MDL. Food was already on.
Yeah, he was. He played for Singularity last season.
Well, yeah, but he was. My point. He was on Soul Patrol like when the Zelsis shit was going down, or like was going to Soul Patrol rather.
You're gonna
I
love
didn't
being a pedestrian to this conversation, Duncan, when they all talk about like tier 2, tier 3 NA. No, but I like that player Laser Lips. I thought he was fucking brilliant. You know, the one with ones in his name. Yeah, loved him. Yeah,
He's pretty good as well because he's like quite calm. Like he only shouts, "I'm lit, I'm lit, I'm lit." They're coming B 7 times. Whereas like I always thought, wow, he's so disciplined, isn't he? He hasn't even played at the pro level. He even knows the call out on DOS 2 is actually called Catwalk. It's not called like they're fucking coming. I'm dropping a spot.
I can't believe he's done me. I'm fucking dead. NA
That's one of the
players.
maddest things about like NA pros. It's like, obviously, yeah, pros in Europe might do that if they were an FPL, but it's when I've heard them doing it in comms and like an actual.
No, LAN events. Yeah, big tournaments.
Yeah, because wait, no, Food joined Soul Patrol when he was joining C9. I think it was like that same time though, right?
You don't think he would have chosen Cloud9 though?
Well, if you're looking at a time on like a roster, he might have gone Soul Patrol because he recognized that this is going to be pretty short-lived.
Thing is, Cloud9 had a very unique strategy actually to recruiting potential replacements, which is that you had to send them your high school yearbook. It's very weird. All I do is just lay breadcrumbs nowadays, Richard. I
Mate,
don't say the thing itself. I just lay the
Infinite's
bread.
high school yearbook
know.
could have made him a Democrat in Virginia.
Exactly. What's mad is he wouldn't
No politics.
tell anyone which member of the Harlem Globetrotters he was.
Yeah, when Infinite put that apology out, when Infinite put that apology out, he actually did realise it was inappropriate to moonwalk, though, which is fair enough. So good on him for that.
See, there's a question for you, Richard.
Is it really though?
I'll try and keep,
Is it really a question?
I'll try and keep this as safe as I can. I'll keep it all above board.
How about just don't
Question
do it? if
is
it's risky?
this.
All right, go on then.
The quantum uncertainty is this question: is are you allowed to, for Halloween,
No.
dress as Michael Jackson if you pick the right age?
I see what you're saying. So
Yeah.
when he was white Michael Jackson, well, I assume so.
I wouldn't
No,
make
I
that
assume-
judgment. I'm just
no,
saying someone
I-
else would have to, wouldn't they? You know?
No, but I assume you can, right?
Theoretically, right?
No, but if I just put on his leathers and his glove and that.
Same principle with Sammy Sosa.
No. But yeah, you could. In fact, I've never heard that complained about, actually.
I mean, to be fair, not that popular a thing to do. Dress as the old Michael Jackson.
No, I know.
A lot of people prefer to go with the Thriller, you know, Rich.
Yeah, I know. You don't go towards the end, do you?
Not the one that was like holding the babies out the windows and shit.
Yeah, with a mask around his face, wrecked on anesthetic. I'm gonna open a children's hospital. No, that era. No one likes that era of Michael Jackson. Dead now, of course.
It's the way that's real as well.
I know.
You know, apparently, Richard, I forgot about this. You know, on the last episode, I can't remember. Oh, it's when I was ranting about that like Jim Brown commercial with Ninja, and apparently the person I used as the example was like, "What next? Is fucking Nelson Mandela going to be doing it?" And apparently, someone informed me he is dead. Apparently, he is dead.
Yeah,
so,
didn't you
fair
know?
enough. I haven't been keeping up on Mandela for a while, ever since he died in prison in 1980.
But yeah, Mandela.
Keep it subtle, keep
Mandela.
it subtle.
Mandela did pass away, mate.
It's like, you know, in a few years, everyone will deny that Stewie 2K played for MiBR and was shit. Never happened. He was just always on Cloud9, and then Team Liquid was out. So is Cloud9 going to win this game? That's the question.
Yes.
Looking pretty good.
Yeah, they're looking solid.
I'm pretty sad about it, but it's true. Once again. And is it Keo at the top of the scoreboard? No, Keo's rock bottom, and it's all boy Flusher getting it done.
Man, Brazil's looked really hesitant in some of these rounds.
Mate, I'll never forget that mad picture where Flusher, when they were in Fnatic, was like legit. This is what he did in his downtime. Was just sat reading that like Daffy Duck comic or something,
Oh, yeah,
Donald
I know,
Duck or whatever it was.
Yeah, Donald Duck.
Like a
was,
children's comic, literally, just unabashedly, just like, and he had like one, you know, you have that thing where you have like one leg propped up on your knee, like just proper shit. It's like man alive. His life is unreal, isn't it? I'd love to see a documentary of a Flusher.
Would you though? Somehow I'm not as sold on that idea. Like,
Do you even lift, bro? The Flusher documentary. And then featuring Pitt. No reason. We just wanted to get him some airtime again.
yeah, no reason. It's
Still
just
alive.
produced by Anders. So, Palf was a really good player, man. Anders, you're out of control, mate.
I keep forgetting my boy Vince is actually at this major. Then
Oh
again,
yeah,
though,
yeah.
it's weird because I thought he was retired.
It's all right. We busted
know that
his
triggers
balls
the
for that.
fuck
I
out
know.
of me.
I know. But the thing is, he's getting to that point now where he's going, I never fucking said I retired. Like he's trying to walk it all the way back.
He is.
Yeah,
isn't he?
I know, mate. I've noticed it. Don't worry. I won't let him forget.
It's
I won't
like,
let him forget.
I get it, Vince. You don't want to have retired, but you did.
Yeah,
you
but
definitely did.
100% did. Like,
Wait, didn't he just say he was taking a break though in that
see,
video?
oh, here we go.
I know. He's bought
Casters
into the
Union,
propaganda, hasn't
Wait,
he?
no, this is a matter of fact. I think.
Just,
I don't
if
think
you
he
say
used the
anything
word
about me
retire.
retiring, you set him straight, mate.
He didn't use the word retire. I'm pretty sure.
Mate, the way it worked out for fucking Vince's career, you should fucking retire, Dust. You'll be doing the next major, mate. It'll fucking work out.
I need a lot more things to happen besides that.
Duncan deadly silent on it. Leaving me hanging on the tag team.
Listen, we got to
Leaving me hanging on the
give
tag
some
team.
breathing room, you
That's where you go quiet, is it, Duncan? It's like that. I'm trying to have a friendly roast. I thought you were coming straight
Sure.
in there. Arsehole.
Well, here's the problem, obviously, is that
we
Dust said, like, oh,
Here we go.
I'm going to retire, guys. Everyone would be like, oh, sad to see you go. And he'd be like, I'm back. They're like, no, you're retired. Listen, we respect your decision. We wouldn't want to...
Listen, it's fine. We really appreciate you retiring. We get why.
Wow.
I just picture it, though, like, Dust would write up some long, elaborate retirement statement, post
longer,
it on
of course.
Craigslist, you know?
Oh,
Why is that the reference? Why is that?
Dust knows I love him.
Anything about Vince?
Dust knows I love him.
Go ahead and back off.
Yeah, Dust knows I love
great
him.
guy. Love him to death.
Yeah, I love him to death. God.
It's like, oh, Dust, you've been really quiet, haven't you? Oh, that's
Yes,
right
really.
immediately, of course.
Yeah. Dustpipe.
Ever thought of joining Vince for a TriCast?
No. Okay.
Straight D-man styly.
I'll go back to being quiet for the next 30
Right,
minutes.
that's out. That part's done. It's okay. We got that part out of the way now.
Ripped
can
it
get
off
back to
like
the
a
game now.
Band-Aid.
Yeah, see, it's all right, man. Everyone gets their licks. Like,
Hey, well, hold on. I'll actually ask around a legit question. Is this MiBR being bad or is this C9 playing good?
In Brazil have definitely looked really timid this game.
yeah. I don't even know why they think these players that notoriously couldn't play Inferno have suddenly decided, let's give this Inferno a bash, eh?
I do love that point in teams' mentality where even if all of reality's telling them it doesn't work, they're like, oh, this bloody narrative about us. It's just so false. It's like, well, you can try going uphill if you want, mate, but I'd go with the stream if I were you.
Right, hold on. I'm getting Sam in the big chair now, right? I gotta bounce. 2 seconds.
Here we go. All right, bud. How you doing in the game?
I'm trying to think. What was MiBR's like old map pool? Mirage was like obviously in there. They played Overpass as well.
At the end of this
Which
period,
lineup?
when they had Phelps, was when they were like, yeah, you're right. It's like Mirage was probably their best.
Definitely.
They were pretty good on train. It wasn't like their best necessarily. They were pretty good on it. Overpass they could play absolutely. Those are like the main ones. They
Forgot
played
about Train, yeah.
like a bit of
Isn't this
cash
lineup
if they
that
had
went to
to.
K? Yeah.
Yo,
They obviously banned
Les
Nuke every single time ever.
Yeah.
And then Inferno, they just lost every time, if you remember. Oh, they had Cobblestone as well. That was it. They were very good on
Yep.
Cobblestone.
Have you looked at the new version of Cobblestone at all, Thorin?
No, what's different?
It's pretty fucking crazy, actually. They completely took out danger, like the A stairs that connect mid and the long haul together, and so they're separated like entry points, and then they totally like opened up the mid ramp area where it's like twice the size, and it's an actual choke point. And they added a window that you can throw shit through, and then they put the bomb site in the middle of A where it used to be, like you know where the truck used to be on the A bomb site, the APC. The bomb site is like right in front of that truck, essentially, and the truck's gone. I kind of like A, but then they also made it so you can self boost the drop at B. So it's a little weird. You should check it out. It's actually pretty sick. I hope they put it back in soon because I have no idea how it'll play, but I think it's like some pretty crazy ass changes. That could be interesting to see some good CS. Oh God, Richard, please look at your Twitter.
Look at your Twitter. That's just said.
Oh my, it's from one of my subs. It's Richard Lewis cosplayed as Diva. The fuck?
I don't even know.
The fuck? Where is it?
Close
I'll
all this.
retweet.
Incognito. You can close that if you want. Wank tab, of course. Yeah, Elvis. Classic wank tab. Freddy wank tab, mate. Unreal.
That's pretty good, actually. That's legit.
That's one of my subs.
Right, you just having a cosplay in? Yeah, but I don't do cosplay. I really do know.
Like how we can kind of hear Sam in the background, but like,
TV, why not?
Well, that's the problem is whenever he's with Sam, he just the wheels just comes out, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, it's my juice. Nice. Smoothie, you mad cunt.
Yeah, this has not been an inspiring half from in.
I'm just surprised Sam even knows where he's at right now.
Mate, I fucking.
Oh, have you just got
woken up
there?
at 7 a.m. like just rolled in bed. Meh, fucking games. Like, yeah, I'll be there now.
It's alright, you're in Vegas, mate.
Yeah, innit?
It's fine.
And it looks like
We'll
I'm
meet up later,
fucked all
Sam. I'll
anyway.
bring you some goodies.
Nice.
I was loving the fucking Uber Eats in Vegas. It's so good how
Oh,
much stuff's
yeah,
on
yeah.
there.
There is.
Oh yeah,
It's
well
amazing,
it's like
isn't
what's
it?
crazy here is like you have all of it. It's not even just Uber Eats. We have like Uber Eats, Postmates, DoorDash, fucking like there's
Maps.
another one like
Weird map.
Weird
Weird
Map.
map. You were going to say that. I was just jogging
yeah,
your
found
memory.
some big
you know.
boy deals on there, mate. I'm always
Of
scouting.
course.
There's a place that does like 50% off, but it's once a month for like an hour, but and just everyone goes.
Oh, Tim. You hate to see that.
Ooh.
That was good recovery for sure for Tim right
Yeah.
there.
Where are you in the demo? I'll just type demo.
As if they've
so
absolutely
demo,
stomped them.
109.
Because you know the best part about this as well is because they've stopped this one, obviously it is going to give all the fans mad hope, like, oh, they're going to do it. But it's like, I don't think it really matters in that sense, you know. Like,
Yeah,
game to
because
game.
MiBR is still a bit of an unknown, right? Like we really don't know what to expect from them.
Plus, like I
Like,
said,
we're all
just
assuming
like
they're gonna be good.
just like the other opponents don't really know their map pool. Well, to be fair, to me, you've actually played it in a tournament. You don't really know your own map pool, you know. You have to try it out.
Mix has just gone fucking.
Cold Zero there with 8 kills. Weird, because I was always told that if you're a really good player on a bad team, it's easier to get. Turns out Reddit loses again. Who knew?
Hang on.
I think people tend to always do this with their favorite teams. You know, they'll overhype the BO1.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, though, we just have no idea what to expect from MiBR. Even though everybody's confident that they'll do good, they have to get past the BO1 parts.
Put it this way, especially when you see how highly their peers rank them, if they're the team that like scrapes through the like 3-2 match, nobody wants to see them in the first round of the.
Oh, exactly. Because they're a team that only gets better as the tournament goes on and as the pressure adds on. I feel like when they get on stage, it's like a whole nother team that you're dealing with.
Sure.
There's certain teams that I feel like, even in the top ones, that just excel as soon as they're in a stadium environment. And other ones just kind of fall off a little bit. They're not necessarily bad. They're just not as good as they were.
Yeah, classic example of a team that was never as good in the stadium environment, of course, was Space Soldiers. Because the thing is, couldn't trust them as far as you could.
Like, even where I'm stood, it won't pick up on it.
Reference lost on you guys, but okay.
Did
Making
you
a
cut
reference.
out, but I think you said toss them or throw them or whatever.
You can't trust them as far as you can spit. You don't remember ESL Bella Horizon here?
When they spit on everybody? No, I remember that.
Oh,
Yeah.
what happened
just
was
made
when
him.
Space Soldiers was going to play like the MiBR team on stage, the fans were just like spitting on them, like shouting.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good time.
The
Sounds like,
walkouts always
you know.
seem like such a cool thing, but I think eventually they have to get rid of those.
What?
There's just too much potential for shitty things to happen.
I know it's off.
Well, even mate, the UFC walkouts where, like, you know, the guy walking out could smash your head in. People so famous that people like slap them on the back of their head, steal the baseball cap they have on. So if they're going to do that to, like, you know, Anderson Silva or something, I think they'll do anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Problem is the timing of this particular match is shit because obviously you'd want this to be like the late match, wouldn't you? That's actually an example though of where majors should actually be different from normal tournaments, because I do think normal tournaments, like at the end of the day, if the event doesn't make money, we all lose. So I do think tournaments should be cynical and schedule the matches just based on time zones for the fans. But for a major, obviously you shouldn't really do that technically. You know, it would actually be somewhat unfair.
I mean, the thing is, they did put this match as late as they possibly could, to be fair, because they had to do the whole second round draw.
Keep across it, but
I'm not a fan of the 2 streams at this format, though. I think it's kind of shitty.
It's just the only way they could reasonably do all these best of 3s, though.
No, I'm not saying there's necessarily a better way to do it, but I also just think it's kind of shitty. Like if you have
but here's the thing: if say they went and gave you full best of 3s, I would take that compromise to get the best of 3s. You know, like have it duels.
Oh yeah, no, I think this is the best that you can do. I just
there we go.
I just want the majors to. They don't even have to be like international in terms of money, but I would love to kind of see the majors just be. I don't know, a little bit longer and more just on stage matches in general. I mean,
really
it's
like basically what they do in, even though actually, funnily enough, in League of Legends they use a pretty bad format, but you know, well, in the past at least, it used to last a month. So you can do any format you want in that time if you really want.
Yeah. Because I mean, these kind of matches are good enough where I feel like if they were on stage and they were doing BO3s, it'd be pretty hype. I don't know.
I'm cutting out. Better 1, 2.
Then again, maybe people might not
I
want
got
to see
no
all of it.
side
If I would have
talks,
told you
can't
that
even hear
Shroud
myself,
versus
so it's
Complexity
creeping
was a
me out.
closer game than Cloud9 versus Made in Brazil, there's no way you'd believe that.
Way too quiet.
Well, especially on this map.
Better.
This is actually.
I'm right next to the mic, boys. Don't worry about that.
I think one thing that'll play in C9's favor
Alright,
is
bud.
they probably just like
Twitch primes
just
in the
not much
chat.
pressure on 'em, man.
Exclamation
I
mark
don't think people
Thunderdome.
expect much from them, and they
Let's
they
go.
got Flusher just
So
kind
how
of
about
calling,
see you
and
in
they're
7
playing
hours?
loose. So if
Enjoy
they're
PUBG.
feeling it that day, and everybody's individually playing how they can, they're still a
I
dangerous
sound like I'm
team.
whispering. This fucking
And
headset on my head. That's
especially
why.
in this format,
I can't
right?
hear
Best of one
myself, so I'm
format
talking
with
quiet.
this kind
'Cause
of
I don't
lineup
want
is
to be
you can't
screaming.
ever expect.
They're one of the main dark horses to get out for sure.
Yeah.
It's just that, you know, for the same reason you just said, that also makes it very hard to predict them to win.
Yeah,
If
exactly.
it
No,
happens,
exactly,
happens, you know, but you can't really know it will.
Never count them out, but yeah, it's hard to just sit here and be like, yeah, C9 without their IGL on a rotating roster that hasn't been the same for months is gonna do well.
Guys, I'm muted in the Discord. I'm fixing my mic for you. Fucking hell, use your head.
I mean, this basically looks like game over.
Yeah,
Let's have a look what's coming up next. Oh, this is the last game?
Yeah, it's draws after this.
And are there more games today, or this is it?
Yeah, there's 8 more. Well, technically.
Oh, right, you played 2 games on the first day, right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they redo the round.
Yeah, then logically, I think MiBR is going to have to play NRG. You think NRG is going to have to play them in the next match?
this is gonna fuck some pick'ems,
Because
including
obviously
mine.
NRG is the only one that was like a top seed that lost, and that's pretty wild, actually. Yeah. Oh no! Wait a second. No, because MIBR.
No, wait, they're
themselves
both
are the
top seeds. They
Yeah,
wouldn't
that doesn't
play
make
each other.
sense. Yeah, my
Yeah,
mistake.
yeah, yeah.
I didn't think. No, in that
They
case, it
probably-
is Complexity that plays
I
NRG.
think they're gonna
right,
play
yes.
Cole because they're high. They're the highest seed that probably is gonna lose, or that did lose.
You
Who's the
maintain your
next-
seed throughout the whole round, right?
Well, you have the elo thing, don't you? Where like the other people steal part of your points, the underdog that beat you.
Okay.
But it's
I would
like
assume
I don't
that
really
this
understand how
is-
they calculate how much they steal, but I'd assume it's like, you know, some formula of the distance between you and them in the seeding.
I'm imagining it would
Boys, I'm all
probably
right. It's
be
fucking 8 a.m. and I'm
MIBR
jet lagged
versus
to fuck.
Cole,
Come on.
since
What do you
MIBR
want out
was
of
the
me,
higher
kids? What do
seeded
you want
team.
out of me?
And who
Yeah,
was at the
possible.
bottom of the seedings?
Cole was
Complexity
the
was
bottom,
dead
I
last.
think. Yeah, and then Energy we just talked about was 6th.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
but who else
then
is at the bottom?
Avantgarde and G2.
Avantgarde, G2, Vitality, I think.
Cloud9 was
Obviously,
down
this means
there.
MIBR is going to, NRG rather, is going to play one of those teams. G2 would obviously be a spicy match.
Cole and Hellraisers were the 2 bottom.
Yeah.
Because the one thing to me that makes G2 like vaguely interesting is that they have actually clearly put in so much time on Dust 2, and there's still so few teams want to play that.
Yeah, they do look good on Dust 2 when they play it. But that's they've
That's
always
about it.
been good on Dust 2. It's like the one map you can always count that like the French team in general, but Shocks, Kenny S, like that, you know, when they had Smiths too. When they played Dust 2, you'd see Smiths come alive. It was just like looked like a totally different team. Okay, so I think I'm pulling up the ranks right now. Hold on. Okay, so Complexity. Oh no, it's Complexity, Avantgarde, G2, Cloud9, then Hellraisers. And then so yeah, Nip was 11th and they won. Yeah, I would assume MIBR is gonna play Complexity. MIBR is gonna play Complexity or Avantgarde, and Energy will probably play Avantgarde G2. I think. That's what it looks like anyway, just glancing at it.
I was actually surprised how high Big was in like some of the seedings for some people, because like
Yeah.
I'm kind of completely out on that team now. They have the roster.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't really seen them play. My just kind of consensus is that roster is going to be good, but not necessarily here. I think they're going to be, when they get to the BO3 stage, I think they're going to struggle, because I think Big has struggled with that already in the past, and then you added a new player. So I doubt your map pool is going to be extremely strong, you know, and solidified. It's probably getting there, but it's not there yet. Where I think in a month or two, when you see Big at a couple more tournaments with Xantares, I think that's when they'll start to heat up if that roster has like some real potential.
Yeah, I don't like that Tabson has to be the primary opera though. I think that's the one thing that kind of throws me off on them.
Yeah.
I think that's something they need to solve.
Oh, all the
The thing is, he
teams
does a good
succeeded
job
after
at it,
each
but
round.
he's
Oh,
just
for
so
sure.
much better as a rifler, though. So it's like such a
Exactly,
waste.
yeah.
Well, it's kind of like the
Same thing
Tim
with automatic.
situation, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's the exact same thing.
But Tim has actually really surprised me overall as an operator.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
he's
gone
looked
better than I
really, yeah. Him strictly offing, he's gotten much better than what I thought he would be.
Yep, I agree with that.
Oh, classic cold zero hold. Apparently not. Is this the end
Well,
of
the
the game?
reseeding's based on what
like
you just
it.
talked about, the elo, right? So I imagine if like it's not that much different with the reseeding.
No, because these are the only teams that were the top ones anyway, so they're still going to have the
Yeah,
most
they're still
ego.
gonna play the bottom half ones. That, yeah. There it is. Oh, Taco. Spoke too soon.
Who was ranked higher out of Ents and Renegades?
Ents was
Ents
one
by
higher.
one.
Ents was 8. Renegades was 9.
That was the 8.
That's a
versus
pretty reasonable seeding.
Yeah, I think that's tough either way.
That system actually worked. Like, I have to give credit to ESL. The reason why it's genius is because it, like, I always used to tell people the most obvious seeding system that would work was like get a panel of experts and do exactly that. Have them all rank and do an aggregate and remove any crazy examples, right? But the problem is, if you say that, a pleb's going to be like, but an expert will be biased. And besides, like, you know, what about the using a computer system? But it's like, well, the thing is, no fan is going to be like, players don't know what they're talking about. So you've just like kind of done one level of abstraction to do the same thing. And it worked the same way. Like, it's actually really
No,
good.
I mean, looking at this list, like, I agree with pretty much the entire list.
Like, put it this way, if here's the difference. Because I know some of these teams have practiced against each other. If one is different, I just actually then assume, oh, maybe in practice that team's better. So
No, exactly.
I can even account for the ones that don't agree with.
Like, when I look at the list, the only thing that you even maybe question is like the number, and it's not even how high they are. It's just like getting really nitpicky with like NRG, phase, and MiBR. You know, being 4, 5, with MiBR being 4th, phase, 5th, 6th energy. That's like one where you could kind of make cases for all of them in certain spots. But overall, the list looks fucking perfect. And goddamn, 16-4, bro.
Yeah, that's right.
That was a rougher game than Astralis versus Complexity.